Hey guys, it's Vestonian here, and today we're doing an unboxing and a quick review of the Sony WH-1000XM4s. These are the latest generation of the Sony WH-1000s, and they just came out a couple months ago. Normally priced at $348, I got them on sale this past weekend for $278. The sale's now over as it was an early Black Friday deal, but come Black Friday, they'll probably be at that same price. The box is a simple design with the headphones shown on the side, which are the same design as the XM3s, and a quick guide on the back. In the inside, it comes with an easy setup, which tells you how to install the application and how to connect your headphones to your phone or device. It's recommended that you connect it to a phone first before connecting it to a laptop or computer because it's easier to set up that way and configure the headphones. Once you're inside the box, there are two important things that are inside it. You have the case, which comes with the headphones, the aux cable, and the charger, as well as some documents in there that tell you some guides, as well as some pictures on how to set up your Bluetooth and noise canceling. The case itself has the same color scheme as the headphones and have a pouch for any extra accessories that you might have regarding the headphones or any other technical devices. Once you open the case, you're greeted with the headphones themselves, which are supposed to be here but came out. The auxiliary cable, which is used to connect it if you want to use a wired connection. And airplane converter, if you're on an airplane and want to use them, as well as a charger. Now, to me, the charger is a real downfall. Yes, it's USB-C, which allows faster charging, more powerful charging, but it is such a short cord. If you want to charge it on a desk and your nearest outlet is behind it, you have to purchase a separate one. And that's frustrating because the whole point of them giving you a charger is for you to use them, and it's recommended for you to use it. So either you have to get a long extension cable or figure it out because it's not going to work out. But that's up to you. At the bottom of the case where the headphones should be, it tells you which each cup should be doing. The right cup is used to control all the touch features, such as raising the volume, lowering the volume, skipping tracks, pausing tracks, and when you cup the right ear, it turns on ambient noise, which allows you to use its outside microphones to hear the world around you while lowering your music or whatever you're listening to so you can have a full-on conversation. The left cup is just used to plug in your cable, and there's not much it can do in the process. Now let's look at the headphones themselves. I personally got the black color because it's easier to not mess up or notice any faults in the case itself. So we have the black. There is a proximity, I don't know what it's called, but that's how it tells if you have them on or not, which will pause your music or play. And that is in the left cup. There is a padding at the top for extra comfort, and as well, compared to the Mark IIIs, they added a bit more cushion to the ear cups. The USB-C is at the bottom of the left cup, and on the bottom of the right, there's a custom button. This custom button can be used for a variety of things. It can be used to switch between ambient control, turn that off, and noise canceling. But it also can be used to control whatever personal assistant you prefer. Whether it's Alexa or Google, you could connect it and activate it through that button. It works for either of them, although Amazon, it doesn't specifically say Google Assistant because Alexa is an Amazon product. They would rather show that off. The power button is next to it, and in order to turn it on and off, it requires you to hold down the button. And what I like about these is when you turn it on, it automatically searches for other devices to pair to. They're very flexible in my opinion. They're very comfortable to put around your neck if you're taking them. If you're listening, and they fit very well. They're not that intrusive. And overall, they're very comfortable in my opinion. I haven't worn them for very long periods of time, but in the times I have worn them, they're very nice. And yes, I have opened the box prior to this review to test them out because I wanted to see for myself if they were worth it. Now, if we're going to compare them to the Bose QC35 Series 2, there is about $100 price difference while these were on sale. Now, $200 price difference about when they're not. These are industry leading in their noise cancellation, and that's a big selling point on them. The fact that they have the best noise cancellation in the industry right now, and that was a big seller for me. Compared to the Bose, I feel like I have more control over the headphones themselves, whether it's with the equalizer that's built into the app or the touch controls on the side of the cups. I personally like being able to control what I can hear from the earphones themselves and not have to worry about going into an app and turning it off. I really love the cup feature where you hold down, you cover the right ear cup, and you allow noise into the outside. It may look a little bit wanky, but I mean, doing this, being able to hear to the outside, taking it off, and being able to go back to your music. And what I really love is that it just lowers your music. It doesn't pause the music. And it's very instantaneous. As soon as you let go, it automatically starts back up, and it's a gradual increase. It's not a direct 0 to 100. The application itself allows you to change the amount of noise that's let in through the headphones, as well as turn on full noise canceling. But there's a feature in there called wind noise reduction, which is meant for when it's a very windy area and will work better than noise reduction. The Mark IVs can support up to 2 devices, unlike the Mark IIIs. And yes, Bose was ahead on that because they had that built in for years, but they now have 2 simultaneous devices at once, which is really helpful and made me get them instead of the Mark IIIs and was worth it. The built-in equalizer, which Bose does not have into their app, is very sufficient for me. I like being able to control the music I'm listening to and how deep bass is, especially with when I'm playing video games. With the Bose, I didn't have much control over how I was listening, and compared to my gaming headphones, they were not superior. With these, I actually enjoy listening to my games like this. I feel like I have more control. I can deepen the bass if I want to hear footsteps and gunshots, and I have way more control over it. So if you really want control over your music, how deep it is, and I know Spotify has an equalizer built in, but there's some applications that don't. So if you want that, that's your best bet. Now you're like, well, why would I choose why would I choose the Sonys over the Bose? And because there is a price difference, but it's all about what you're willing to accept. With the Sonys, you have a nice sleek design. It's very flat, it's very minimalistic, very modern. The Bose, it's a bit more rounded ear cup. The switches on the side, and then they just recently allowed custom of them for $199. You can make them any color. You have control over the padding, of the rims, of the cups. And I found that pretty cool. For $199 and only $50 extra to customize them to your own making, that's pretty cool. But I kind of like this minimalistic look. Like, if I was in a public workplace, I'd rather have these simple, minimal headphones than bright blue Bose. I haven't really been able to try these in crowded areas. I've been able to try them on the bus, and that's about it. On a bus, it doesn't block out all the noise with just the headphones on and listening to music, but it does a pretty good job. Once you turn your music on to about halfway and not even max, you don't hear anything at all. Same with when you're talking to somebody. As soon as you put it on half, you're not hearing them anymore. And that's perfectly okay with me because you got to understand that noise canceling is only on certain frequencies. It's not going to block out your voice or other people's voices, and it's not going to block out certain uncommon things. So you have to take that into consideration with the noise canceling. It's not going to block out everything. So here's my final digest. As having used the Series 1 of the Bose QC35s and now having these Mark IVs, from what I've seen, I really prefer these. They are more expensive, and that's something you really have to take in consideration. I did have financial regrets after purchasing them, but after using them, I'm kind of enjoying them. I mean, was it worth it? Maybe. Will I find out hopefully will they last long? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do an update in a month or two, see how I like them. But there's one thing you gotta know. If you're using these for gaming, do not use them wirelessly. The latency is way too high to have an established connection to your game. If you're doing competitive and like you need to have these audio cues, it is gonna be the worst experience you could have. Now, if you're just doing some casual gameplay, like a single player game, and you don't really care about the sound being in sync, then that's fine. But if you want the best audio experience with these headphones for gaming, you're gonna have to use them wired. Now, personally for me, the cord was a bit short to connect from my computer to my headphones. It was about the right size, but I needed something longer. So when I bought my Razer headphones, it came with an extender and a splitter that allowed the headphone and microphone to be plugged into the headphones themselves so that it could be separate from a phone cable. So it has this built-in aux plug where you plug it in, and I was like, well, maybe that would work, and it does. So if you have one of those, just plug in the aux cable into that and plug the other end into the headphones, and you have an extender, and it really is useful. And if it's too long, just wrap it up, put a nail in somewhere, and just do it like that. But for gaming, you really gotta have a wired connection. Doing wireless is not fun. You're like, well, what's the point of buying wireless? But it's for the noise cancellation. You still have noise cancellation, you still have the ambient noise, you still have all that stuff. It's just wired. And I mean, if you're gaming and if you're doing some competitive gaming, you're probably not going to stand up and walk away. Now, if you're just listening to music on your computer or watching a show, then that's not bad. But for that crisp gameplay, I really would suggest using wireless. I hope you enjoyed watching. And I know this was kind of rushed, but I really hope you learned something about these headphones. And maybe it's a deciding factor. Maybe you're gonna choose to get them, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're gonna go for Bose, or maybe you're just gonna wait until something new comes out. But I hope you enjoyed.